Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Cook Talk with AngryBlackWunmi. This week I have two amazing guests, as usual, as we've figured out from every week so far. And we will be cooking efo, which is basically a spinach stew, with a side of white rice and everybody's favourite fried plantain. Not my favourite, but everyone else's. Our topic for this week is Christianity versus feminism and whether you can be both. I'm not doing by Sia, the beautiful Miss Sia, the one and only.
The one and only.
Whoa, that's
Copyright. No copyright.
Hey. Right, so like I've said, we're going to be cooking efo, which is spinach stew. Have you had efo before?
No.
Yeah, like a lot of people.
I've had spinach stew. Like, not really spinach stew.
What was it?
So, like, I guess, like, because I'm Sierra Leonean, so it's, I don't want to say the wrong thing because the Sierra Leoneans will call me, but there is something similar to that.
Okay, like you guys make a similar jollof rice.
Whoa.
No, let's not
Because
get
we don't want to go there with the rock solid jollof rice, okay, that Nigerians make. We don't want to go there, okay? Honestly, I've had different jollof. That's what I'm saying, different Nigerian jollof. It's not just one hand. I've had it from different hands, and it's traumatized me. Honestly, I'm being so serious.
You know, like when you're used to eating subpar, then when you eat
I
really
am
good,
done.
it's like, oh my god.
Everyone knows
this
Sierra
is
Leonean
shit.
jollof bangs. You will never hear anything negative about our jollof, so
Any salad chef that wants to prove me otherwise, feel free
bring
to
them into the
roast you.
kitchen. Bring
But
them in.
all I'm saying is I will always and forever upstage you. But let's get on with the
Let's
F4.
get on
So
the
basically we're going to have F4, white rice, so nobody's going to attack anybody on the basis of the rice. White rice is a general thing. You can't make white rice any other funky way, unless you're Chinese.
I'm so done with your behavior.
And then we're gonna have the classic plantain on the side. I'm not really a big fan of fried plantain.
You say it
But-
wrong, by the way. I'm just saying. It's plantain.
How do you say train?
You're gonna come with the specifics.
No.
Wait, can I say something?
T-R-A-I-N.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
It's plantain, but we can move forward.
There's a certain discussion I'm just not going to get into because it'll take up the whole duration of the episode. So we'll be having plantain, also known as dodo, with efo and white rice. At least I know I can't say dodo wrong. Right, so we're gonna get into it. Sia's made me aware that she does not want to be cutting onions. So what you'll be doing is rinsing the spinach, cold water rinse, and you use a little bit of white vinegar. So just pour the white vinegar on it,
Yeah.
and then put the water in it and just drain it out.
Because I've got a heavy hand, yeah. Can I put it in this cap first? Because I've got a real heavy hand.
I've got a heavy hand. No, you literally just need a little bit there. And just make sure you rinse it and rinse it all out.
Alright.
I need that knife that's actually in the sink. Right, so Sia, how is it going for you?
What?
Life.
Oh, life. Oh,
Generally.
I thought you meant
What you up
the rinsing
to?
of this. I was going to say,
Oh,
bloody hell, man. I ain't even started.
Fine.
Life is going good.
That's what we like to hear.
I'm sort of feeling sometimes like I'm not achieving everything that I want to achieve right now,
I know the feeling.
which is somewhat stressful.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been like trying to remember that life isn't a race.
Yeah.
And I guess like with society right now and like watching what everybody else
Everyone
is doing,
else.
yeah, it can have an impact on the way you see yourself
Yeah.
and the way, you know, or at the rate, should I say, at which you're going.
Yeah. You're
So-
like, oh, look at my age mate.
Yeah, do you get?
Actually,
They're doing this and they're buying house and they're doing this and they're driving this car. And meanwhile, I'm just like sitting here like, oh my God, what is my life?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's where I'm at. I've taken a break from events because that has drained me of my last energy.
Okay. What, the last event you did?
Yeah, the
I
last
feel like that
one.
was really good.
I loved it. I loved it. I loved
always
it.
am, but I feel like that event went really, really well.
Yeah. It just takes a lot, and I think the last one just took
feel
too
like
much out of me.
Like I've been to, this is the second one I've been to, and I've seen a growth in it. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's the important thing. Like you want to go to an event and it gets better every time, which is something you've managed to do. So you should be very proud of.
Thanks, girl.
I'm just saying this because you're there. Like, the only thing I will do if we're doing constructive criticism here.
Yeah.
Jeez, start your events on time, my G.
So can I say something about the timing issue, yeah? You know what? So basically what I've tried to do is, you know, because I always know black people are always late.
Yeah.
Always late. I always tell people that it starts a lot earlier than it actually does. But then this time people were actually on time.
Yeah.
And we didn't plan to start at that time.
Okay.
So that's where this one kind of went wrong. But in terms of timing, we normally do really well. Last one though, a lot of people did tell me off about the timing. So apologies.
Apart from that, it was a well executed thing.
Draining though.
Where's the best spinach in the sink? This is how you waste food in Sierra Leone.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Don't worry about all of that.
Yeah, no, that should be good now, though.
Okay.
Oh my god, this girl, this.
Oh my god, it's not so much. It's like 4 leaves, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
4 leaves, alright?
No, she picked up loads of it and she had 4 leaves in her chest. So this morning, I went to Lidl and I picked up jumbo red spring onions. I love spring onions because they taste amazing. But we all know how much I love red onions. And I have never seen red spring onions. And I got so excited. So I'm going to put this in with the sauce for the F4 and I want to see how, if it's something you can taste, if it's strong, how it...
It's looking like a weird combination.
It's not really going to be weird because like my mom used to use spring onion or uses spring onion in rice and it gives it a nice. Like a different taste tang to it. Yeah. So I want to try that with the... I don't think you can go wrong with food. Everything's an experiment.
Yeah, to be fair.
If it goes left, then, you know, your people that are eating it will let you know. And this is one thing I want you... If something don't taste good, let me know. Mm-hmm. That rarely happens, but, you know, disclaimers and all of that. So I just thought I'd let you guys know. We're trying out red spring onions today and we'll let you know how that goes. Yeah, go on. So get back into the disgusted campaign. Sorry to...
Made me lose my trail of thought.
Started.
So, listen.
Sorry. This is what I do to everyone. So don't feel personally attacked. Yeah,
no, it's not personal attack.
Go for it, baby.
Okay, so the campaign, the disgusted campaign, started when I went on to Backchat London, and I just felt like there wasn't enough representation of marginalised groups, and I felt like there wasn't that representation, which is why a lot of people, when they watch shows on YouTube or on TV, they're immediately drawn to what they don't see often. So, for example, if it's a plus-size woman, they're immediately drawn to commenting on her weight. Or if they see someone who's disabled, for example, they feel like the first thing that's important before you hear the person speak, they're automatically drawn to, you know, what it is that makes that person different.
Right, yeah.
So I wanted to put something together where marginalised groups could coexist amongst each other and feel safe, and not feel judged. Yeah. So initially when I started it, I was thinking, I know I want to do a campaign, but I don't want it to just be a campaign and that's it. What can I do for the long run? And that's kind of how I started getting back into events. Mm-hmm. And then with the first event, the launch, I knew that I wanted to do a fashion show that was inclusive of these different groups. Yeah. And so that's what we did, and then over time we've done 4. As I said, we've done 4 in like 6 months, so hence why I'm like burnt out. But we did the last one, which I wanted it to be more theatrical. Yeah. So every theme had a story behind it. So we did like Power based on the Power TV show, but there was elements of just showing power and strength through different people. So we had a plus size woman, we had a lady that is 4 foot, we had just different people to represent different groups. Right now I'm on a break, as I said.
Not from the campaign, but just
from doing events, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to like do other stuff. I'm still doing speaking engagements and I'm still sharing my story and stuff like that. But yeah, the events that needs to go on pause.
Right, so you can see here, chopped up the onions and got the ends of the spring onions, the spring part of the spring onion there. Oh. What we gonna do is, I got to chop. Firstly, what I'm actually gonna do is put some oil in the pot pan thing. It's actually it's called a saute pan. The 24 centimeter saute pan, or 24 centimeter radius saute pan. I use a saute pan with certain sauces because you've got the surface area to actually let your food have the space to cook and fry and do its own thing, as opposed to it being all in an enclosed space and positioning. I shouldn't be playing with my hair while I'm cooking. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, food in hair. Hair and food. Food in hair. Hair and food literally will spin me anywhere. What we've got here is, right, so I'm going to correct, I made a mistake in episode 1, so I'm going to correct it today. These are long sweet peppers, and these, in that episode, I went ahead and I was like, oh, these are red capsicums. They are red caps, but they are more commonly known as bell peppers. So, I'm not a novice, the name just ran away from my head at that time. But these are also known as bell peppers, so these are like the staple peppers I use in all my dishes that include some kind of stew, sauce, anything like that. I use long red peppers and bell peppers. And of course,
how many of those do you use?
Scotch bonnet. It depends on what I'm cooking. You don't like spice? You like spice? How you feel about spice?
I'm alright with spice.
That's important. So yeah, so I'm just gonna chop up some of these and rinse them. So part of me wants to use 2. I just don't know how hot it's gonna make it. We'll survive. Michael will get hair.
As long as you got water on deck.
And there's wine, baby.
What? Oh wow.
We drinking wine.
So what wine? What's your favourite wine?
Oh,
I'm not really a wine drinker, you know.
I'm a rosé person.
Okay.
I prefer like the fruity, sweet.
Yeah.
Tastes. Obviously because you can just drink more of that and
before you know it,
you're drunk. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like
slow progression.
Yeah, you're just going. I feel like with the richer wines, like the proper red wine, the white wines, the dry wines, it's a bit.
I don't know how people drink it.
They are nice
really?
if accompanied by like with certain dishes, certain wines just go so well.
Okay.
They complement them, so it's like yes. But it depends on your palate, and this is why it goes with certain foods, because when you're eating a certain dish, your palate is adapted to that dish or whatever. So that makes sense as to why certain meals go with certain wines.
Just have Ray and nephew, man. It's just fine. Ray and nephew everything.
No, because Ray and nephews will kill. So this is what no. Ray and his nephews are not like.
Listen, you just have to. Some people when they drink Ray and nephew for the first time, they like to do too much beyond what.
No, but
you
like
can't.
you know what?
Build
Yeah,
yourself
I'll be
up.
honest. I like to match the energy of whoever I'm drinking.
No, you see?
And when I'm with, like, especially with a Jamaican, you know they drink it like
that's
water
for them.
They drink it like water. Now, I was in a situation where I was at somewhere with my friend. They got drinks and they got 2 shots of Ray and Nephew in the drink, and I was like, I should really say I only want one. But at the same time, I was trying to match the energy. Did I finish my drink before?
Who were you at the end of the night? Listen, you have to. All my really close friends are Jamaican, so I've really built up my tolerance for Ray and Nephew. But that was a long process. It took me a lot of, how did I get homes? Those kind of things.
Those are the yeah. I'm not quite sure how I got to my bed, but I got there. That's the most important thing.
Listen,
I could be on the road somewhere. I could be
anywhere. Safe and sound. That's all that matters. The process.
Yeah, no, I stick to my wines and my brown liquor. I'm a sucker for brown liquor.
Yeah, that had to grow on me.
I'm a Jack Daniels.
Really?
Ooh.
You are really man them. You are really
no, Jack Daniels, Disaronno.
Oh my god. Oh, Disaronno is fine. Yeah, but that's because it's sweet.
Yeah.
But Jack Daniels.
I'm a Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels
Ooh,
is like
girl.
my first love.
What about Courvoisier and Hennessy?
Courvoisier over Hennessy.
Really?
Is it? Yeah, I'd choose Courvoisier over Hennessy. And the other day I had someone mix Courvoisier with Mighty Malt. So like, I don't drink Super Malt. Super Malt is rat's piss as far as I'm concerned. At me. But Mighty Malt, I feel like is the best malt drink.
It's sweeter.
And it's sweeter, and they mix Courvoisier with it.
Nice.
Sold.
Really? I'm gonna try that.
To make it a thing. Alcoholic malt drinks will change the fucking game.
I'm gonna change that.
Henny's just like a drink that everyone shouts about because everyone shouts about it. Like no one, like a lot of people that shout don't actually like Henny, but they like to stump with it and hold it. But like, do you actually like the drink?
Yeah.
I feel like if you can't drink these drinks, if you can't back it straight, you don't like the drink.
I can't back it straight.
Any drink straight. Any drink.
Daniel, straight.
Straight.
Your man them. Your man then?
From the bottle, like I've gone on that. It's like, okay, I'm not paying for the drink in the club, yeah. So walk into Tesco, buy the £15 bottle, good to go.
Nah.
But that's...
It's like everyone we see on the dance floor like this. Let me get off on the back. Not that she backed. Whole bottle of Jack Daniels before she entered.
No, Jack Daniels is... Me and Jack Daniels were like head and butter.
Yeah.
No, Jack Daniels sponsor me, then you good. But right, so the oil is ready. I'm gonna quickly rinse the peppers. Everything is chopped up and is in here. We're gonna do the quick rinse and then we can blend, baby, blend. Oh my god.
What's this tattoo on your back, son? What does it mean? It's like a symbol.
Yeah.
Wait, is that an eye?
Yeah, so it's
the evil eye.
It's the Eye of Horus.
Oh yeah, so that is what a lot of people do say is the evil eye.
Yeah, that is what everyone assumes is the evil eye. It's not the evil eye. The Eye of Horus, an ankh, which is a symbol of Egyptian symbol of life. The goddess Isis, the one that Rihanna has under her tits, and a scarab beetle.
My goddaughter's middle name is Isis.
There you go.
It's some Egyptian. Yeah.
And a scarab beetle at the bottom. All of them have their own symbolology, and I'm not gonna break it all down for you guys. You guys need to like Google is free. But yeah, that's literally, and it's a really beautiful piece of artwork, and maybe one day I'll like share it with you guys. I have only one tattoo. I don't even think I count that one when I'm counting my tattoo. I have one tattoo that I regret. I got it when I was 16, and then I got home and my sister snitched on me. Asked me why. I think she was like 11. My sister snitched on me.
What does it say?
It says shut up.
What? Let me see. Jesus is Lord.
Fuck off.
Wait.
So you know, like back in the day where there was like the Rihanna one that went round that says shh. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be extra. I'm gonna get shut up. I really ran there, paid £40, used my EMA payments.
I'm done.
To get shut up on
the only good thing is that no one really knows that it's there.
Like, oh, I got her, my sister snitched, and my mum was like, get it off. I was like, no, it's henna. She's like, get it off. But I was squabbing this with an iron sponge. And that's why it's like so blurry.
Because finger tattoos, I have a finger tattoo as well, but we don't talk about that.
So you put me, bitch, you better let us know. After you told me, what does it say? What's the finger tattoo?
You can't see it. It just looks like trash now. But it was something, and then I got it covered up, and then you can't.
You know when you see something that makes you feel so much better about your life choices.
It literally looks like ink splattered on my hands now, but that's better than what it originally was. So I will deal with that in this life and the next. We're not gonna show you what it looks like.
Oh my god! I'm not gonna put you on blast for that. Because, I should really think you should the camera, but it's okay. What I'm doing here is blending half of the onions. I feel like with a good stew, you want to fry your onions. Well, at least a portion of your onions, which is what I'm doing. I'm frying some of the onions in the oil. And I'm going to put a little bit of like the spring onion ends. Don't know what they're actually called. This is one thing I like to like just make known to people. I don't go around saying I'm a chef. I'm a great cook. So when I don't use the right chef lingo, no one should come and be like, but I thought you were a chef. I'll pop for your face. I never said I was a chef. Nobody should come and say that. I cook and I enjoy cooking, and I'm sharing it with you guys. Like, take the recipes home, cook them, be happy about it.
And that's it.
But don't come and say, oh, but you said you're this, but you're not living by that life. I'll fight you. Right, so I've got my spring onion ends mixed. I actually want to drain it a little bit just because I don't want too much water content. So it's not going to be that much here, but just to get that. I'm going to turn up the oil. I'm going to throw that in and you're going to hear it sizzle. I'm not going to make that mistake again. Remember the day I said simmer instead of sizzle? My sister put me on camera. I was just like, wow. For everyone to know that. I don't know the different terminologies. And what?
Who said me? Someone said me.
Oh, that was a bit violent, but yeah. There we go. I like how there's a mixture of both purple and green in that, as opposed to just the usual purple. I find it funny how red onions are red onions, but then when like you cook them, they're purple.
They're purple.
I made a mistake. This happens in the kitchen. I did not put my chili flakes in the oil, but we will still put the chili flakes.
Oh my god, this is so cute. Everything is all named and organized. If you go in my own cupboard, hey, my friend, everything's just scattered anyhow. Be like, where's the chicken? Man, this is so organized. This is inspirational.
Thank you.
Although I'm not into the cooking thing like you, but
thank you.
still, I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah,
You guys can come to my house
easy.
next, and I will do season 2 of Cook Talk.
Nothing she said is endorsed by AngryBlackWunmi and the services that it provides.
I'm so done. I'm so done.
But yeah, so I've just put the onions there and I'm letting it fry with the chili flakes. I'm gonna put a little bit of aroma in there because I like to season the onions as they're frying just to give it flavour. Because like the fried onions is literally the base of whatever you're cooking. And I just let that do its thing for a little bit. If you go in there, the top drawer, there's a spoon stand. Thank you very much. Well, just leave that on the side here. Right, so while that does its thing, I'm going to leave this on the side because I'm going to use it again for the peppers. Right, so what I'm going to do now is the rest of the onions. Oh no, that's too much. Not the rest. A little bit more onions. I just realised how much that was. The rest of the spring onion ends. Use all of them for amazing and milk for anything else. And then the peppers.
What's wrong?
Done it again. I forgot the chopped tomatoes, innit? Which really should be at the bottom. All we're gonna do is tip that all back in. Happens, happens. Someone came to my house
And
damaged my can opener and then put it back in there.
they weren't gonna tell you.
Molly, I know this was you. Molly, I actually know this was you. Molly, I know this was you. Just for like, it's only my sister. And Mum, if it was you, I know you're watching this too.
You have a spare can opener. You have a spare can. I'm really a student. I'm really a learner. Like me, I'd just be like, "Where's a knife?" What?
Always ready.
No.
Can you
You're a
mix
legend.
that,
Yeah.
please? Oh, done, Sia. Oh, look at you.
I feel like such a student. Have you got my trophy for the end and my certificate? Like, honestly, I need to go home and show my mom. You said I couldn't cook. I got a certificate.
I can really imagine like coming with that kind of energy as well.
Listen,
I went to cook today.
I went to cook. I'm so proud of myself because I told you I didn't learn to cook from Africans. I don't even know how to cook African food.
Really?
Yeah, my best friend, she's Jamaican, so I learned how to cook Caribbean food, and that's what we eat in the household.
Wow.
Yeah.
It smells so nice.
It smells so nice.
See, you feel that way. So we're just gonna. So this has basically got the onions, the spring onion ends, the Scotch bonnet, bell peppers, long peppers, and one kind of tin tomatoes. Use any brand, it's already brand. I feel like the second Scotch bonnet didn't go in it. Okay, no, it did. Yeah.
Can I leave this now?
Yeah, that's fine. Right, so I've blended all of this together. Because it's a spinach stew, I'm going to drain the water, the pepper water, because spinach, we all know how spinach releases its own water and whatever. So, but I will save the water in a bowl just in case I need more water. I don't want to have to put no more water in. I'd rather use the pepper water because it's still got the flavour, if that makes sense. So I'm literally pouring it into that, but it's being caught. I'm just going to let that sit in there and drain for a bit because I'm lazy. I'm going to blend the rest of these peppers. Probably with that water actually. Instead of putting in another cup of water. Alright, so that's pretty much drained. So that's going to go into the mix. Oh.
Should I mix?
Yeah. I'm going to use this water that I've actually just saved to blend the rest instead of having to put any more water in it.
It smells so good.
I'm glad you feel that way, baby girl.
So are you going to be doing like containers and charging people? Like, do you think you could
See,
start
people
with
say that, like I could, but I just feel like I don't want to lose the love of it. Like I feel like
Because
when you
it'll become a
start,
chore.
it will become a chore because it's then something you're doing not just because you want to get up and cook, but because you have to get up and. Some people will be like, oh, but if you're making money from it, that's a lot of people's problem. They look at it as I want to make money from it, and that's what they're doing it for, and I don't want that to ever become my. Because that then starts to show your food. You're then looking for ways that your money can be longer than
you start cutting out.
Yeah, that's not me still.
Okay.
A lot of people look at these things like, I'm going to do this because it's for money and I'm going to generate X, Y, and Z income. Okay, that's good. Are you going to be able to keep that up? Is it sustainable though? Is it sustainable? Are you going to be able to keep that up? Will your brand stay at that same quality throughout? Because when it starts to go down, then it's like, okay, you were able to generate that income for 2 years, let's say, if it goes that well for you, but you couldn't keep it up and now people are looking at you. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not worth it. I personally don't think it's worth it, because after that 2 years you then don't have the money again, then you go and you find a nice.
It's like seeing
it's like
seeing artists, like when artists put out like a big banger and then after that they're just like this demise, and then we're like, oh yeah, where did the guy from? Like, you don't want that.
Yeah, you
that's
don't.
So,
exactly. That's one thing. I think one thing I'm very conscious of is my brand and who I am and what I'm putting out there. I feel like all that shit is very important. A lot of people just look at it short term. What can it do for them there and then? And
it's about instant gratification, literally.
And that's not me.
Yeah.
Right. So. Oh, it looks so beautiful. It smells so beautiful.
You are such an auntie.
I am a proper auntie. Like when people get to know me, they're like, "Oh my, like I'm literally such an auntie."
You look so beautiful.
Right, so we've got another guest coming soon. Should be here soon. Oh, it's 1313. Make a wish. Oh, that's so cute. Really cute.
Yeah.
Our second guest should be here any minute now. Oh, slam that on the thing so hard. Can you bring the Maggie one too, please? Just gonna season this, and then I'm gonna use 1 cube of Maggie.
My eyes are on fire. Are yours?
Why? No.
The onions.
Onions are long gone, babe.
No, I've got sensitive eyes.
That's your business.
What does that mean?
It means.
What does that mean?
The direct translation is it's you that knows, but it's more like that's your business kind of thing. Like.
What are you, Yoruba?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All my Yoruba friends, they just speak Yoruba, and I'm like, I
they
just assume that I understand.
Yeah, it's not even like most time I know if someone but it's just a thing where sometimes it just comes out and it's just like
can't hold it
it's
back.
like that's how I'd react in that situation. So I do it and then I realise I'm with someone that's not Yoruba, and then
it's good. It's a good way to learn. It's a good way to teach.
Translate it. Yeah. I've used 2 cubes of chicken, and before I add any more, I'm gonna make sure it's not too much. I don't think it is actually. My secret for this, my secret seasoning, and one thing I do like to point out is that this is an optional seasoning. So if you are vegan and you want this to be a vegan meal, then obviously don't put this in, and use seasoning that obviously go in line with your vegan lifestyle. Like I've said before, don't like to call myself a vegan just because I know that I don't live a vegan life. A lot of people think veganism is literally just not eating meat. It's literally not eating meat, not wearing animal clothing, not eating anything that is a byproduct of animals. There's so much more to veganism, and I feel like a lot of people have diluted it. And then when you say you don't eat meat, they're like, oh, so you're vegan? I'm like, no. But all you vegans always like to make an excuse. No, it's just that everyone likes to put a title to everything.
So do you not eat meat?
I don't eat meat, no.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't eat meat, no.
Okay. Does your daughter not eat meat either?
If I ask this question, in my house she doesn't. Okay. But when she goes to grandma's house and granddad's house, if someone has cooked oxtail or someone has cooked
because I have
turkey stew,
like I eat pork,
I can't.
But I don't let my daughter eat pork. So, yeah. I've cut it out in terms of like.
Swine.
I know, it is bad.
Swine.
It's terrible. I won't even do that.
She even said it with her chest.
No, because I have to be honest, a lot of people will be pretending when they're with their mates. I don't eat pork. When you're eating pepperoni pizza in the night, you know that you eat pork. But when you're with your mates, you want to act like, swine. I will eat pepperoni pizza. I don't eat bacon. I don't eat all the, like, but I eat pepperoni, so I do eat pork.
But if someone, like, could you eat, like, pork chops or something?
I don't know.
Because
Maybe.
the only reason I ask is, and the other thing is, where you've got a daughter, I feel like as parents, it's one thing to be like, okay, don't do this,
but then you do.
But you're doing it,
Yeah.
the best way to teach a child, they say, is
no, definitely. I think I'm not.
So I'm not. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not putting you on blast.
Fine.
I'm just saying. This
I feel like if she's older and she wants to eat pork, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say no. Yeah, I wouldn't say no. That's why
you're doing it more as a thing that you know that you've gotten past the stage of. You can make that choice, and you want her to be able to make that.
Definitely. If she gets older, just like I want to eat pork, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god.
So this is my secret seasoning.
What's this?
It's crayfish. But I like to use crayfish in what I cook. I've just inhaled a bit of crayfish in it. I use crayfish as a season. A lot of people say to you, oh no, they can't have something with crayfish in it because they're vegans. I get completely because it is literally fish that has been ground into a powder. I use it as seasoning, and it will change your life. So, secret F4. This crayfish, I'm pretty sure it's been grinded with like peppers and stuff, because every time I open that jar, my head just loses its mind. We've got the spinach rinsed. We've got the kale, very ready. So what I've done with the kale is I've chopped it up, because you just can't dash kale into something like this just because it's such a it's got the stalks and everything. You need it chopped up, and we're literally just gonna put it into the. Oh,
that smells so nice.
This is what I like to hear. And we got somebody at the front door. We got somebody at the front door. We got someone at my front door. And I can't find out who's at my door. Sorry, that was such awful singing. Honestly, I can sing. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, hi Michael. Is that you?
How's it going?
I'm good. I'm coming to the door to get you. I'm now doing in the kitchen by basically Michael's in my kitchen now. He's a guest that has now arrived. Before he rang the doorbell, I was just about to say the reason I saved the water was so that I could add it to it. I feel like it's dried out just a tad too much, so I'm just gonna put in a little bit of the water. How you feeling?
Tired, problematic.
Oh my god.
Sounds about sounds about right. Right, so I've got my chopped kale. I'm not gonna put too much of kale just because kale is not usually put in F4, so it shouldn't really spoil the taste, but just you know, I like to try new things. New things might as well be my middle name. So bit of kale and a lot of spinach. Wow, you heard it land. Ouch, I just hit my hand on a hot pot. And then the spinach, and we all know what spinach and other leaves that you put into dishes like this do. They disintegrate. So I'm literally just going to stir it in. Oh yeah, sorry. Michael, this is Sia. Sia, this is Michael.
I was gonna say, you just have us standing here all awkwardly like.
I'm really bad with like intro. Like when I take my friends to places, yeah, and I'm like, okay, this is my friend. This person's come with me. I never
introduce.
It's just not. I'm just such a like in my head. I just like to sit in a corner. So I just it's a really bad thing. But like obviously I picked up on it and I corrected myself. So growth. And yeah, I'm sure you know of each other at least.
Yeah, of course.
Minimum.
Of course.
I said, of course. Serious, are you making them waves here? Right, so we're gonna let the spinach and the kale into the stew, because I can't think of the actual word for that, so we're just going to use actions. I'm going to mince the rice. I've prepped the plantain, so it's already cut up. Yeah, so we've got prepped plantain, peeled, cut, salted, ready to go. I'm not going to fry the plantain on camera just because, like, I'm pretty sure you guys know how to fry plantain. If you don't, here's a quick rundown. You literally cut it up, you put it in water. I've already misled everybody. You heat up the oil and then you I'm thinking of boiled plantain because I had that for dinner yesterday. So you do not put it in water, you put it in oil and you fry it the same way you'd fry any other thing you deep fry. You can also shallow fry it, or you could boil it, which I personally believe is a better option. For this meal it wouldn't work, but if you don't want to fry it and you want to go for a healthier option, you can bake it in the oven, which you would have seen me do in previous episodes. And if you go on the website, you'll find the baked plantain recipe on the website. So what I'm going to do is rinse the rice and put the rice on. With white rice, I use basmati, golden cellar, not the basmati that turns to mush. This rice is the rice that literally you get every nice long grain of rice. We're going to do 3 cups of that for us. And it's literally for 3 cups of rice. For 3 cups. I said cups first time and second time. For 3 cups of rice, you will use 6 cups of water. So it's 2 cups of water to every cup of whatever grain it is you're using. That's the scientific measurement that's always worked for me. If you like your food mushier or harder or whatever it is, feel free to use less or more, whatever. Yeah, so I'm going to do that with the rice now. I'm literally rinsing. Rinse your rice because all that starchiness that you're seeing there is not meant to be in your body. So please rinse your rice. And this is why I've actually stopped eating rice for the most part, or minimized my intake of rice, should I say. I really only eat rice in jollof. Most times I'd rather cook quinoa, but I felt like for efo, if you're someone that eats efo as well, you know that white rice and efo is a banging meal. So I've been doing my guests a disservice to give them quinoa when I could be serving them this badass meal. So yeah, Michael and Sia, do you have any questions you want to ask me? Like, people always come in here and expect me, I think I'm just gonna ask them, but it's really like, yeah. I actually want someone. I want someone here to like come here and ask me a question and be like, "Oh, Wunmi, tell me about," and I can be like, "Well,
I actually have a question. Actually,
oh my god, I don't know if I'm ready." Go on then.
My question is, why do you call yourself AngryBlackWunmi, knowing the connotations around it?
That is a good question.
Isn't it? Let me touch.
Firstly, the first thing we're gonna step on is, or touch on, should I say, is these connotations were given to us by who? No, I'm asking you.
I was gonna say white people, but that now can be debated. Because originally, I would say white people.
Okay, that's what we're talking of the source. Because there are a lot of things that are given to us by white people, and then we take them on, perpetuate it more than everyone else. So the keywords there were mentioned is white people, right? So in a society that tells you that as a black woman, especially more so a dark-skinned black woman, when you stand up for yourself, when you assert yourself, or when you're defending yourself in any way, even like the simplest way, without attacking anyone in any way, shape or form, you are an angry black woman because it fits their agenda. Me calling myself AngryBlackWunmi before you can say to me, because I've decided to stand my ground in any circumstance, that I'm an angry black woman takes away from anything you
so
have
is that to remove the power from the words?
From
that statement
against me.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I have been in many situations where it's not even been a case where I'm being angry or I'm vexed at a situation and then you're angry black woman. No, I'm not.
That's just how I express myself.
Because if I was white and I was a little bit more, what's the word, soft around the edges, you wouldn't call me angry and you'd be like, oh no, I totally understand what you're saying. And I feel like what we can do, you know, if I dropped a couple of tears, you know, because as a black woman, I'm not going to be in a situation where a white woman would cry. Does not mean I don't have those feelings. I just deal with them differently. So no one on the face of this earth can come to me and say you're an angry black woman, I call myself AngryBlackWunmi. What's next?
So then do you believe in this thing where people take the N-word and say we're reclaiming the N-word and they're taking the power out?
I feel like the N-word is not something we can use when there are like whole documentations that, like, you know, like documentations that they have from the slavery era where they're like how to catch a nigger, and like there's certain things that I feel like that one is a completely different.
So that one can't be reclaimed.
That one I don't think you can reclaim that. I feel like
even with an A instead of an ER.
I'm on the other side. I definitely feel like we can. I feel like you can't take away the meaning of the original term of the word or the original word, but I feel like
it was such a derogatory term.
And I agree.
It was so far beneath us. Like it was used to degrade us in like the most inhumane ways for us to then say it's there's certainly like it's like taking shit and using it as body cream.
No. I totally agree with that's what we're saying. My thing is though, I feel like why I say it can be used as a term of endearment now is because I feel like regardless of whether we use that word is still being used. We skate around it as though, if we stop using that word, like I just saw this clip on Big Brother of this guy using it. They didn't even kick him out of the Big Brother house.
Let me.
Do you understand?
That, but the fact is, when white people then argue, why can't we say it?
Because you can't.
Wait, their defense is not to say I agree with them, but their defense is always because black people still use it. That is bullshit. Where it then comes to question us. It's like, okay, if we stopped using that word, when we call them out for using it, it has a harder standing.
For me, I disagree.
Because it's like, we're not using it, we're the ones that were affected by it, so you have no fucking right to use it.
I disagree. Because I feel like white people would always find something. If it's not the fact that we're using it, they would always find something.
We're allowing
like, they use the word against us, and and realistically, you guys still call us that. Majority of you guys still
use it.
If we've now taken back and we want to, like, if I'm like, I don't really use the word like that per se, but if a group of black people want to use the word amongst each other as friends, who are you to now determine what we do with that word?
In that situation, I can understand, but then I feel like there's certain places we need to take it out of, like when we're using it in music. Like,
I feel like it should be used in safer spaces.
Exactly.
That is dangerous.
Do you get what I mean?
That I agree
because when the arguments that always come up,
when you go to a concert and the white person starts singing it, then we start getting angry.
Literally, my ears are always, when I know this word is coming up next, I'm waiting for, let me find any. Bruv, I'm not even going to sing it, I'm just going to turn around and rock your jaw.
The music thing is...
Do you get what I'm saying? But then it's like a thing where, this is why I'm saying we need to stop saying it in order for them to understand how... Because their defense is, well, you guys still use it.
I don't think they would ever understand... I think they would never choose... Like, if a white person says to me, but black people, why are you fighting to use that word? That's my first thing.
Okay, yeah.
Why are you even arguing with me to use that word?
But why are we still using that word against ourselves? Because there are still some black people that still use the hard R.
Yeah.
So,
as a joke.
As a joke. You know, do you get what I mean? So it's a thing where we wanna give it different chapters, but I feel like we need to stick to one legislation when it comes to that, and that really should be fuck it. Let everyone stop it, so that when a white person uses that word, it has it has a better standing in our argument. Because when we use it, and when you're arguing something, if somebody can come to you with a response. Your argument is but if we're not using it, I feel like no one can then say to me
based on us as a whole, as a collective, as a race, saying, you know what, I prefer us to stop using that word.
Wait. Go on. Throughout all of this argument, the rice should have been on the fire, but I really got into it, so we're gonna put the rice on the fire. But continue.
Yeah, I would prefer us to stop using that word and disregard the impact it has on white people being able to use the word. And I would just prefer, if we stopped using it, fine, but disassociate the reason that we're using it, we'll stop using it, to how it impacts white people, or how white people feel about, you still use it, and
I'm not saying, but I'm saying, well, I am kind of saying that, so I get what you're saying, but it's a thing where I feel like that's a word we shouldn't even why do you want to reclaim something that was given to you? No, not given to you, but in a sense where it was forced upon you. Do you get what I mean?
I totally get
it's
it.
not just a phrase they use for a certain, like angry black woman is a term they use for black women.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? It's not a term used for all women.
My question is this: what is more damaging, the word or the concept behind the word? Because the concept behind the word hasn't died in any capacity whatsoever, and the people who continue to perpetuate those concepts, even though they might not publicly be able to use the word, they've still kept the same concepts, the same feelings, the same actions, the same mentality.
Publicly being able to use the word is bullshit, because obviously, according to the timeline, some guy used it on Big Brother. You just said it.
Yeah, I just saw it.
I don't watch all these reality shows.
I just saw the clip.
Tell me anything about Love Island, anything like that. I don't know any of these things because they don't care for us.
I mean, the last time I was here, we talked about how they use black outrage as a marketing tool.
So definitely.
This guy 100% was told, bear in mind, Big Brother is not something I watch, but Big Brother's been exposed how many times for the fact that they actually give scripts to people, they give cues, like behind the camera, they're giving cues, do this, do that, to make things interesting, because they can't ever risk a bunch of people going into a house and just getting along. Like, they cannot risk that. So obviously he's been given the cue that, look, you're white, you're gay, you'll get away with this. Because
you're white, you're gay. Say it to my face.
White, you're gay, and you're the elite. That's the real.
Basically, you're white, you're gay, so just say it, and we'll slide you an extra 5 bags or something.
I feel like this is also another.
You don't even have to win.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like a lot of people have done this thing where they try to equalize the struggles of white people and
the LGBT,
the LGBT community, and I feel like that's another. Not to say, and this is not to say they're not people that are gay and black or LGBT. Is that how to say it? Yeah. LGBTQ. Okay, and black, but it's like there's some things I've seen, and like people do think pieces, and then they'll really equalize the struggle of being a black person. Something you can't choose, and I know there's an argument that you can't choose to be gay or whatever.
No, something you can't choose, something you can't hide.
You're trying to equate something I cannot hide. I go out,
it's
no matter how light the foundation I put on is, I'm still something's going to give that away. I can't hide it in any way, shape or form with something that if you really wanted to, that you should, that you should, and not that you should not live your truth, but you could hide it,
can be concealed,
for you to propel in life or do whatever or achieve whatever it is you want to do. You can do that, and then for you to try and put them on the same pedestal is disgusting, in my own opinion. And this is not an attack on any kind of community or anything, but this is just like, I feel like that's another thing that's done a lot, or I see a lot, that just makes me angry. Right, so the spinach is pretty much done, and it looks
good.
It smells fantastic.
That's what I like to hear. The rice is on the fire. I've got the oil ready for the plantain. I'll probably do it here. So what I'm gonna do is make this. I'll spill this oil on you right now. It's cold, so. Okay, so I'm gonna put the plantain here. I'm gonna fry the plantain on here. The rice should be ready in about 20 minutes, and the plantain is gonna be dished out in a second. I'm gonna sign out the kitchen with my guests right now, and then we're gonna go over to the table, have a conversation about whether you can be a Christian and a feminist. Stay tuned. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me for the cooking segment of the show. I hope you've enjoyed cooking today with me and my guests. Look out for the blog post on www.angryblackwoman.com, where you'll be able to find the recipes, which gives you a step-by-step analysis of how to cook the whole meal, timings and all that good stuff. Tune in tomorrow to watch the conversation segment of the show, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next episode of Cook Talk.